Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on our second to the last fight of the evening, a professional fight. We have Justin Steave taking on Nathan Landwehr. Let's take a look at our tail of the tape for our next event. We've got Justin Steave. He's 28 years of age, 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds with a professional record of 6 wins and 4 losses. He's taking on Nathan Landwehr, 26 years of age, 5 feet 9 inches tall, 145 pounds with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. I gotta say, this is a very exciting event for me, Mike. Let's send it over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, to call in our next fighters. Nathan Landwehr about to make his way to the cage. Very excited to see this young guy fight. He went 7-0 as an amateur, went pro, and now he's 4-1 as a professional fighter.
And this guy, he's a hitter, you know, as the Diaz brothers would say. This dude wants to bang.
Absolutely. Actually, Nathan Landwehr is currently the 3FC champion at 155 pounds. He seems to be quite the fighter.
I think this fight is going to have fireworks. These guys want to throw punches at each other's faces all night long.
Absolutely. The things I hear about Nathan Landwehr are very interesting. He's a local of Tennessee, and the only thing that I really caught my ear about him is that he is the #1 up-and-comer out of Tennessee, and he traveled all the way to eastern Pennsylvania to fight for Gladiators in the cage tonight.
Yeah, Tennessee is the volunteer state, and he has certainly volunteered to get in this cage tonight.
I don't know what that means. It's the volunteer state?
It is.
Oh. Pretty cool. Nathan Landwehr sporting some crazy hair. Melvin Britton holding the banner for Nathan Landwehr. Britton, of course, came out victorious in a decision fight earlier tonight.
He did. Similar hairstyles here.
100%. The static electricity is what gives them power. Nathan Landwehr being checked out by our honorable athletic commissioner, Greg Serb.
Greg Serb there.
The leader of one of the premier athletic commissions in the United States. Nathan Landwehr entering the cage.
Circling around, just getting comfortable with the surface.
Justin Steave. What do we have to say about Justin Steave, Mike?
Justin the Hawk Steave. It's Hawk time. This guy, I've trained with him before. He, excellent hands, excellent striker. His cousin, is Pittsburgh native boxer Monty Mesa Clay. So he comes from a serious striking pedigree.
It's that athletic gene, you know. It's very common that a person who's a highly talented athlete, it's almost like a genetic thing, you know. They're family members. We look at John Jones. He's got his brother.
I mean, you look at Eli and Peyton Manning. You look at
the Diaz brothers.
The Diaz brothers. You know, it runs in families.
100%. Justin Steave's last fight was, I believe, a win.
I think it was, yes.
He's a Pittsburgh Fight Club fighter out of, obviously, like I said, Pittsburgh. What I've been told also is that he has a thing where he never likes to say no to a fight. And that has been to his detriment before, as he's 6-4-0 right now.
Yeah, I think sometimes he says yes to the wrong fights. But, you know, that's the game. And you got to respect the guy who will just go out there and just bring it, no matter what.
Yeah, Justin Steave also is a Bellator veteran, so he knows what it's like to fight on the big stage. From what I know, he had a flying knee KO in his early days in Bellator that was in contention for a knockout of the year. I believe that was in 2011. Steave entering the cage with a lot of energy. Let's send it over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official introduction.
cage, professional featherweight division, and it calls for 3 5-minute rounds. First, we have fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 145 pounds. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, a 72-inch reach, 26 years of age, with a 4-1 record, 3 knockouts, 1 fight of the year. He fights out of SSF, out of Clarksville, Tennessee. He is Nate the Train Landwehr! And his opponent's fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 145.6 pounds. He stands 5'8". He's got a 6-4 record. He's 28 years of age with a 71-inch reach, fighting out of the Pittsburgh Fight Club and GOTC MMA from Weirton, West Virginia, Justin the Hawk Steave. Your referee, Bill Bookwater.
Wow, this is a really exciting fight.
I am actually really looking forward to this because I think these guys are going to hit each other a lot.
Justin Steave is just looking svelte and energetic.
Neither of these guys are shy. Nathan looks big here.
He looks very big.
He is big 145.
He's big. Good circling by Steave. Keeping on the outside of that lead hand of Landwehr.
Oh, that was some nice shots by Steave.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Very fast. And now he's in on the front headlock. Nice knee there by Steave.
Not committing too hard to this headlock.
Steave did I think he did a reasonable amount of damage there in a very short period of time.
I think he has a guillotine right now.
And he is in on it. I mean,
he's leaning back.
Enough to make Landwehr struggle, you know.
And he releases.
And then releases it, but I think he got the better of that exchange.
Let's see if he can uncork a few more.
Oh.
Wow.
A little faster with the hands there with Steave, a little more accurate. Landwehr just trying to find his footing here.
I really like the movement of Steave right now. Like I said, he's keeping on the outside of the lead hand of Landwehr, and that's where he's throwing his hard shots, over the lead hand of Landwehr. I would bet we'll see that again. He's going to step over and throw that straight.
Oh, that was a nice jab on Steave.
You know, some fighters really would prefer to be in the center of the cage whenever they're throwing punches. I would say that Steave is almost keeping Landwehr in the center of the cage so he can have mobility to go around him and throw his angles.
You know what? If you have the cardio to do it, it's a great strategy to just keep moving.
Very calculated is Steave. You can just see the speed of Justin Steave.
He's coiled. He is ready to strike.
And I have to give it to Landwehr, too. I mean, he's standing in the pocket. He's really going.
No, I don't think Landwehr is, afraid or anything at all here. He's just, he's encountered a little bit of an obstacle, and he's trying to figure out how to overcome it.
Landwehr throwing a lot of kicks. Might be a strategy to keep Steave on the outside a little bit farther away than the length of his punches, as legs are longer than arms.
Landwehr needs to use his range here. I mean, I think he has it, and he needs to use it.
You know, the thing about a fighter like Justin Steave, with the speed of his hands, if you overcommit to using that range, you might get countered. You might get countered with a 3-punch combo.
He can come in fast.
Big shots. Full commitment on a lot of these punches by Landwehr.
Oh, Landwehr coming in.
That was 2 uppercuts.
Yeah, and he wears it. Good leg kick by Landwehr.
Wow, Steave immediately grabbed that kick and threw the right. If that would have landed, that's a killer combination.
It is. I think Justin Steave just switched stances here for a second.
He's been switching his stance quite a bit.
Yeah.
Landwehr almost appears to be stalking down Steave.
You know, he's stalking him down, but then he's not throwing much. You know, or he's throwing one shot, and then Steave is able to rush in with 2 or 3 after it. It's not sufficient.
Just over 30 seconds left in our first round.
Though I would suggest Justin Steave stop reaching.
Wow, look at that.
You know, here Justin Steave is kind of reaching when Landwehr throws a leg kick, and reaching at that leg kick, and if that leg comes up over top one day, Justin Steave is going to have a lot of problems.
Definitely setting it up for the head kick.
Those are some nice punches by Landwehr here. Oh, and he might have hurt Steave.
I don't know that he dropped him, but he's on the ground now. Wow, big shots by Landwehr. My goodness. I wish I could have seen that play out.
This round ends. This round ends all Landwehr, but I mean there were moments where it's all Steave. So once again, how you score this really depends on what you like. It can kind of go either way.
I mean, me personally, I would have to give that to Steave. Steave was landing combinations. He was landing more punches. If that's what it comes down to, then that's what it is. You know?
I generally would think that Steave should win this round. However, if you want a score that is kind of a knockdown drop by Landwehr at the end, then that turns the whole thing around.
That's definitely true.
We're
Very short
here.
break here in the pros. I want to point out the amateurs had a 2-minute break in between rounds. Professional fighters, 1-minute break with a 5-minute round. Let's see this round 2 start. Nathan Landwehr and Justin Steave.
There they go. They touch gloves, and they're ready to rock.
Landwehr is coming straight at Steave.
Oh, there's Steave. Oh, and a huge kick by Landwehr. That was really nice.
You know, a lot of times a fighter can throw a leg kick and they can land the leg kick, but it doesn't always do damage. It appears that Landwehr knows how to dig that shin into the thigh, though.
Yeah, he's coming at a good angle there. He's turning his hip over, getting the shin pointing down.
Steve's landing the shots, but Landwehr just happens to have his chin tucked enough.
Yeah, that was just enough chin tuck that wasn't going to drop him. Big body shot by Landwehr.
Yeah, I got to give it to Landwehr. He's landing the shots also. I mean, this is a close fight. I feel like this could go either way. If Landwehr lands a good combo.
Every time one of them opens with a salvo, the other guy answers equal and opposite.
There's that head kick we were waiting for.
Bang.
So we know he's got it in his back pocket. He could set up that head kick.
And there he goes to the leg again.
That right leg of Landwehr is vicious.
I mean, and that could slow Steave down in the 3rd round if that keeps landing. That damage is not, for pretend.
Beautiful duck under on that punch by Landwehr.
It missed by millimeters.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes for the uppercut with everything he has and pays by getting dumped.
Steave in the butterfly guard of Landwehr now.
Steave with a good takedown, but let's see if he can do anything with it. I mean, what's a takedown if there's no damage?
Just an opportunity to get submitted, and I think Landwehr's working for the triangle.
Oh, he's big time working for this triangle.
Oh my. Oh my.
Shades of George Takei there.
Oh my. Absolutely. George Takei commentating the fights tonight. Knee to the chest by Landwehr. Beautiful technique. And another knee to the head.
Nice. I am enjoying this fight.
Nice jab by Landwehr. This is what we were hoping for, 100%.
Honestly,
two guys battling.
you know, not just as a commentator, not just as a former MMA fighter, but as a fan of this sport, of this art, these guys are good. I like watching this.
Wow,
Attempted
whizzer
judo
toss.
throw there, nice.
As so often happens with a whizzer judo toss, you don't get your opponent all the way onto their back.
Nice.
Wow, pinpoint shots there by Landwehr.
But ends up with Steave almost on his back stand up, and there he is with a single hook ride. Now we'll see if
wow, Steve's got both legs on.
He looks like he's got both hooks, but yeah.
Man, Landwehr and Steave are being extremely active.
Yeah.
Wow, nice knee to the head by Steave on the transition.
Now Landwehr behind Steave, reversing position. So,
wow, Landwehr is playing
nice
a very
elbow.
smart game.
Yeah. I mean, I like what Landwehr is doing here. And now I think Landwehr maybe being a little bit heavier, I think.
I think so.
Considering where they may have cut from, I think Landwehr is maybe using his weight, wearing him out.
And I got to say, I like Landwehr's jiu-jitsu positioning right now. He's got the half guard, but he's got a cross-body overhook. And that's really holding Steave into a position.
Yeah, that's huge. Steave pulls full guard here.
Seems to be no concern for Landwehr as of right now.
No, Landwehr's on top.
I really hope we don't find out after the fight that his name is pronounced totally different than we're saying it. If so, I'm sorry, Landwehr.
Oh,
almost got the sweep.
Attempted a sweep there by Justin Steave. Not too shabby.
I think this is a very exciting fight.
I like the fact that this fight's occurring. I mean, this is good.
I love that Nathan Landwehr ended that round covering the nose and mouth of Justin Steave. Now, he might not get a tap out of that. He might not get very much of anything out of that, but I'll tell you one thing, covering up the nose and the mouth will inhibit the breathing of your opponent, and that will get the rhythm off.
Now, I have a feeling that the first round went to Justin Steave, and I have a feeling the second round might be for Landwehr.
I really could say that. I mean, Steave came in with some really strong, accurate pinpoint punches in the first round, but Landwehr really took it to him in the second.
And I think this round is the one that's going to decide who wins this fight. Like, these guys are both right there on the cusp of victory or defeat, and it's just going to depend on who wants this more. Who's going to come out and fight for this? Who's going to break the other man's will?
This third round is a very, very important round right now. Second to last fight of our professional event.
I'm impressed by both these guys.
Yeah, really kudos to the matchmaker who made this fight happen for Gladiators in the Cage tonight.
Here they come, show respect, touching gloves, and let's get it on. Landwehr taking the middle of the cage. Outside leg kick. Returned by Justin Steave.
I mean, I have to think Steave right now has got to be thinking about setting up those strikes.
Landwehr is cornering Steave here, ready for an exchange. Steave reverses and pushes Landwehr up against the cage. Another reversal. Now Steave up against the cage.
Wow, I'm very impressed by the patience and confidence of Landwehr right now. Pushing the chin of Steave. Keeping, if he can keep his head upright, you know, I mean, there's a lot that he can't do.
Yeah.
Wow, nice body uppercut.
Separate back out and just go right back to striking here.
Literally, Justin Steave has twice as many cage fights as a professional than Landwehr, and it doesn't seem to look that way. It looks as if Landwehr's been doing this his whole life.
Landwehr is obviously seasoned here. You know, and he's a guy who looks like he wants to get to the next level, just like Justin Steave does. Landwehr lands a jab, but not much on it there.
A little bit of pawing from both guys.
Exchanging missed jabs there. I mean,
wow, look at that flurry.
yeah.
Didn't affect Steave. He just kind of bounced back and moved.
Nice outside leg kick. Lands again by Landwehr.
Just both fighters standing in the pocket right now, waiting for someone to do something.
I think they both want the other party to make the mistake.
I think, yeah, they're both looking for big counters. I think that they both have it in their head already that this could possibly be 1 round to 1 round for both of them. They both need to win this 3rd round.
But I think, you know, both guys want the other guy to make the mistake, but both guys have to initiate to force it. Here's Steave with an arm-in guillotine, and Landwehr's head pops out, and Landwehr's got him against the fence.
Oh, wow, I love that. Landwehr's kneeing the one leg that's on the ground right now, Steave. Steave is doing what right now, he's defending the takedown by driving his knee up. He's keeping Landwehr at a distance whenever he's standing on 1 foot.
And Steve's going to need to get out of this position, you know, if he wants to win this round, and probably this fight.
Wow. Beautiful break and throw by Landwehr. You know, I heard so much about Justin Steave coming into this fight. Everyone has something to say.
Spinning back fist there.
Nathan Landwehr is the surprise of the night. Oh, my.
Oh,
Steave is going to the foot.
Attempting a knee bar, but Landwehr spins out, gets on top, and he wants to restart this in striking mode.
This is not what I expected to see with this fight tonight. I thought that Landwehr might have a couple of ground things for him. Steave is what was touted as being a superior striker, but Landwehr is proving himself right now.
Landwehr is not afraid of exchanging the lever.
Wow.
Steave coming in on him. Oh, missing with that big overhand.
Beautiful head movement by Landwehr.
Nice leg kick there by Landwehr. Another big leg kick there. Leg kick again by Landwehr.
Wow.
One of the only things that's landing in the later part of this round.
I mean, if we're counting up the strikes and the scoring,
Steve
Nathan
comes
Landwehr
in with
has
a
been
shot,
landing.
but falls back, gives it up, and Landwehr winds up on top.
That might solidify it. My goodness.
That's unfortunate. Unless, he was trying for the armbar just at the last minute, but just not enough time.
What a battle between these two men tonight. I don't know what to say. Once again, I don't want to be a judge on this fight.
You know what? I hate to say this, but I do give this to Landwehr.
I think so.
2 rounds to 1.
I think so. I think he took the 2nd and 3rd.
I think he won the 2nd and 3rd, but it's a very close fight. If it went the other way, I'm not going to hate the judges for it.
Absolutely not.
And you know what? And both men have nothing to be ashamed of. It was an excellent fight. Very tough guys.
I would put this 100% in contention for fight of the night tonight.
Yeah, they went out there and they went after each other.
Knock him out.
With some luck, we may have an instant replay from our production crew here tonight. From Cut and Run Studios in Dormont, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And there is no instant replay. I don't fault them for that. Oh, we might have a replay. Here we see Landwehr winding up. Big left, uppercuts. But
nice
now,
uppercut there, and misses with the big hand there, but
you know,
that is only
Steave,
connected.
he never even looked close to being rocked. But for the time being, let's send it over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
After 3 rounds of action, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Polflesh scores at 30-27. Judge Brogan scores at 30-27. And Judge Monsky scores at 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting out of the blue corner, Nate the Train Landwehr. Let's hear for both of these fighters another closely fought bout. Nate, let's get to work. How did that turn out for you? Is that the way you expected things to go? Or?
Look, I sat out for a whole year. I found out about this fight. I came right off the couch about 12 weeks ago. Give me another 12 weeks. It ain't a man in this world can stand up with me for 5 minutes.
Who would you like to thank tonight? Who would you like to thank this evening?
First, I'd like to thank myself for throwing all these punches at training camp, throwing all these kicks, doing all these put-ups, doing all these sit-ups. And I'd like to thank my coaches, my trainers, my teammates, my mom, my wife, all my family, all my fans, and all the crowd that came out to see us fight tonight. Let's do it.
Let's hear for your winner, Nate the Train Landwehr.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Landwehr proving himself in the cage tonight with Gladiators of the Cage. But for now, let's have a word from our sponsors.